Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of this podcast, The Complete Football Pod. With me, your host Mike. I hope you're all doing well. Please, if you're new to this channel, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. It will go a long way. I would really appreciate it. Today, I'll be giving you an episode about Man United. I'll be giving you my opinion, and more importantly, I'll be asking for yours. Without taking much of your time, let's dive in. Man United. This is one of the club this season where alongside Chelsea, where you will be like, what is going on with Man United? Where is Man United going from here? The game against Coventry was just I would call it embarrassing. Even though as a Man United fan out there, I could tell so many Man United fans were not happy, even though Man United won the game on penalties, because Man United was 3-0 up with a championship club in Coventry. Man United was supposed to win the game with ease. With all due respect to Coventry, Man United, they were 3-0 up. All you need is game management to manage the game, and if you can't score more goals, then the 3-0 is it's enough. But what happened? Man United gave Coventry the chance to come back into the game to level the score to 3-3. And even in the extra time, Coventry got a goal, but it was just a mile away from being an offside. So that game it's so embarrassing. This is another new low for Man United, even though we know the kind of team Man United is this season. Or I would say, with all due respect to Ten Hag, I'm not the kind of person that always wants someone to lose their job. But when you see Ten Hag, you would see Ten Hag has no impact in this team. No impact, because a manager impacts the team. And with Man United, you don't see any signature of Ten Hag in that team. If I can throw it out there to you, my viewers, what style of game does Man United play? I don't have an idea. Liverpool, they play the counter pressing game. Man City, the possession based game. Aston Villa, the high line and direct. But with Man United, Arsenal, the king of pressing. Arsenal is very good with pressing also. But with Man United, you can't really say this is what Man United is trying to do. They're just everywhere, week in, week out. Even the first season Ten Hag came in, you could see this glimpse of inconsistency in Man United, and it still kept continuing. It's still continued even till this day. So it's safe to say I don't think Ten Hag has this team in his pocket. I don't think he has a dressing room in his control, because you can't it seems like they don't even train, because you don't see them trying to work something and be like, oh, this is something new from Man United, we've not seen this this season. No, it has always been flat. They just play like Onana give the ball to Maguire. If you can find McTominay, or if you can find Kobe Mano or Bruno Fernandes, just give him the ball. Bruno Fernandes, do your thing. It's just not like Man United does not play like a team that is being coached by a good manager or by a good coach. So I think Ten Hag does not have answers. With all due respect, Ten Hag came from one of the biggest team in the Eredivisie, which is Ajax. It came to another bigger team in the Premier League, and a bigger team than Ajax. And in the Premier League, you can hardly bully the other teams. Unlike the Eredivisie, the Dutch league, where Ajax bullied other teams, Feyenoord, other clubs in the PSV and all that, PSV Eindhoven. Ajax was always dominant. But in the Premier League, it's a different ball game. It's not like that. We have in the Premier League, you have the top six, even the top seven, even top eight. It's the Premier League is very, very bigger than the Dutch league. So I think that made him feel he could manage a team like Man United. But I think he knows now Man United is bigger than what he expected. So I can't. A team is a reflection of its manager, Jurgen Klopp. When you see a Liverpool team, you see Jurgen Klopp in there. You see that energy, that high octane energy. When you see Pep Guardiola's team, Man City, you see that possession base, control. When you see an Arteta team, you see that energetic, youthful team. But Man United, what is Man United doing? You can't see any reflection of Ten Hag in that team, and it's not gonna help because it has been a lot of pressure on him. Even me watching the game against Coventry, I was like, what is going on with Man United? What is going on with Man United? Because they looked lost. And Rashford, which has been getting a lot of criticism lately, Rashford, it seems to me like Rashford is sometimes just confused. He doesn't know what he's doing. Because when Rashford is in form, we all know how good he can be. But the inconsistency in Rashford is getting too much, and the Man United fans cannot let that happen. They can't accept that. A Man United team, you play week in, week out, you have to give at least 8 over 10. That's what is being demanded as a Man United player, or a player playing for Man United. It seems all these players in Man United now, they don't know what it takes to play for a team like Man United, or they're not good enough for the team. Either way. And since Mourinho said one time that the greatest achievement he had in Man United was to be second in the league. People were looking at him like, is Mourinho crazy? Mourinho started with his crazy antics. But it was right. The problem has been there for a long time. There's so many players that were not good enough to play for that team. You can name them. Anthony Martial, the new Anthony, Amrabat. But these players, sometimes before coming to Man United, they would go so good. Amrabat, for example, at the World Cup, this guy performed brilliantly. He came to Man United, became a dead wood. He could even barely get a sniff of the first team. Luke Shaw, injury prone. Wan-Bissaka, not good enough. But I personally like that guy because one-on-one, Wan-Bissaka is good. You can hardly get past him. Maguire, a deep in form. Varane, he's not good enough. Casemiro, he doesn't have the legs anymore. What's this keeper? Onana, a lot of mistakes. Not consistent. Except for Kobe Mano, which is a young lad. Garnacho, a promising guy. There was a point in my United season where Garnacho was carried before the introduction of Kobe Mano. Garnacho was literally, has the whole Man United on his shoulder. He's too young to have a team like carry a team like Man United. He's too young. He can't do it all alone. I would say, as much as I don't like his attitude, the captain Bruno Fernandes is a good player. I like him. Football aspect is good, but his attitude sucks. I don't like his attitude sucks. But the guy is also good, contributing in his own way. But Anthony Martial, I don't know if I've said it before. Anthony Martial, Rasmus Højlund, maybe the guy is trying. I've seen him play in Atalanta. The guy has he has a prospect. Let's see what he will do with this Man United team. Mason Mount came to Man United. He can barely have a sniff. He barely has a sniff of the first team. So everything is not just working for them right now, because Man United, it's like a house already on fire. That's why I support Man United fans saying, the Man United side of the fan that says Ten Hag has to go, because I see it this way: Man United is like a house that's already on fire. I've never seen anyone that would not try to put off a house that's on fire. That would be like, you know what? Let's see how far it's gonna get burned. No, when you see a fire on a house, you quickly try to, you know, quench that fire. That's what I see about Ten Hag. That's why I understand the section of the Man United fan that be like, enough is enough. This guy gotta go, because there's already fire on the house, and you don't want to look at it you don't want to wait to see how long it's gonna go before the fire, burn. Let's see how far the fire is gonna go. No, if you can quench the fire, do it. You have to do it. That's why I support the people calling for his sack. Like I said, nobody likes anybody losing their job. But in situations like this, you can't see Ten Hag's idea in this team. You don't see it. The Man United plays like a team that's not been coached at all. That's why you see a lot of speculation swirling around Ten Hag. Man United, as you can see, there's been some I don't want to say rumors, but there's been, since Sir Jim Ratcliffe came in, he's been looking, to get a new coach into it. I think Man United is considering bringing in a new coach, and you can see the likes of Roberto De Zerbi. I think he's still in the race. This guy, Thomas Tuchel, is another coach available, which I think they've been having contact with Man United. And Gareth Southgate also, I heard, is one of the top contenders, even though I don't see why it doesn't make sense to me. Also, Graham Potter is also one of the contenders, likely contenders to get the Man United job. And one thing I know about this season, after this next season, there's going to be a lot of availability of coaches. It now depends on what the club or what the team, the kind of coach they want, because there's going to be a lot of coach available. I've counted some coaches now available linked to Man United job. Then we also have Stefan Pioli, AC Milan coach, is leaving. Allegri is leaving also. Juventus coach is leaving. So there's gonna Ruben Amorim, Sporting coach, is open to transfer. There's gonna be a lot of coaches. Antonio Conte is still there, jobless. This guy, Mauricio Sarri, is there also. So there's gonna be a lot of coaches. It's just depend on the direction that the team that needs the coaches wants to go, the style of play. That would be, that would make them decide on what type of coach suits, a style of play. So back to Man United, those four coaches: Roberto De Zerbi, Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter, and Gareth Southgate. Those four coaches are linked to Man United job. If peradventure Man United decide to pull the plug on Ten Hag, I would say, as much as I know, Ten Hag is not the only problem at Man United. Now, the players also, those players, I personally think they're not good enough, or they've not found the right coach to harness their strength together. So an experienced coach like Thomas Tuchel might, be a kind of solution, maybe short-term solution, before they find a way to go about the players that would be leaving at the end of the season. Martial already sure is leaving at the end of the season. I think Eriksen might probably be leaving also. Varane, Casemiro, all those players, they have to go. Bring in new players, depending on the kind of coach Man U, the kind of direction Man U wants to go to. So they could choose from all those four coaches that's available, that's been linked with them. So I would say they have to change some players also. If they could change the players, then they would. If Man United already decided of letting some players go, then if they already thought about what style, what do we want to do, then they could choose a coach. Tuchel is experienced. He came to Chelsea within 6 months. He won the Champions League. He came to Chelsea where Chelsea had some few players left. He made those players a team nobody wants to play with. It saw those players forehand. It knows what the best way he could set up these players, and he did it. And they were Chelsea was a success. So an experienced coach like that, you can get him. Roberto De Zerbi is an upcoming coach. He's a manager that if he has the resources, he would do, good things with Man United. If you can buy players, he would have players better than the ones he had with Brighton. With all due respect to Brighton players, he would do a great job also with Man United. Graham Potter, we've seen what Graham Potter could do when he was in Brighton before Roberto De Zerbi, took over when he left for Chelsea. Graham Potter is also a good coach, but I question, does Man United do they want to win? Because Man United has been this club that we all know that wins trophies. So it depends on like I said, it depends on what Man United want to do. Do they still want to be this winner, this club that wants to win trophies? Because if they want to, Thomas Tuchel is a serial winner. A coach like Antonio Conte is there, but I don't think Man U will want coaches like that, because they are kind of, Antonio Conte is a very, very hard manager to work with. But you can be sure of trophies. He would win you something. There's never a place he went to without winning anything. Antonio Conte, Thomas Tuchel, it would win you something. So if Man United wants to be that club that wants to win trophies, then they know what to do. They know what to do. But we all know Man United is all about, the PR, the stock. So they would they like appointees like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They run the club like an office, like the coach they want. In my opinion, that's what I think. The coach they would want to hire would be a coach they can tell, this is what you gotta do, this is what you gotta do. Then that's what he would have to do. So, but if they want a radical coach that could, win anything for them, I don't know if Man United, if that's the direction they're going to. So, they played a game today also against Sheffield. You can see Sheffield scored first, Man United scored again. Sheffield scored the second goal before Man United scored the second goal. It shouldn't be like that. You don't see that consistency. Before Man United now scored two more goals to make it 4-2. That game was a lot of tension on that game. With all due respect to Sheffield is a relegation club. They already confirmed for relegation. You should not be playing them like this. They scored Man U twice before Man United came back into the game. So that's why I think if letting Ten Hag go, might be the solution, because this is something that's been happening constantly, even during his first season with Man United, and it still keeps happening. So I don't think it's gonna stop. That is the point, or that is the trend with Erik Ten Hag. So I don't think next season would be different. No, he's bought a lot of players. And he still said sometimes, I don't have all my best players. The players are not good enough. For crying out loud, you bought a lot of players. I think he spent like £400 million on buying players personally. Not players that was bought to, not the players he met there. The players he bought by himself. Sofiane Amrabat, Mason Mount, Varane, who else? Rasmus Højlund, Anthony. You spend a lot on Anthony. You're still saying they're not good enough. You bought them for crying out loud. So I don't know. But Man United might think, I don't see how Ten Hag is still going to be there for next season. But if he will, I would say because maybe the cost of getting rid of Ten Hag will be too much, that they would just let him run down his contract and plan for another coach. But if Man United can pull the plug on him and get a new coach, I think they should do that, because I think if they don't do that, the cost to keep him might be more than the cost of keeping him might be more than in the nearest future, or by next season might be more than if they had even let him go. That is going to be the end of this podcast. Please let me know your thoughts and opinion about Erik Ten Hag. Do you think he would still be Man United's manager next season? Please do like, share and subscribe to this channel. I would really appreciate it. It will help this channel to go, to move further. And I would so much appreciate if you can share this uh, podcast to friends and family. I love you so much. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Thank you so much for your time. I love you. Bye.